Yeah. I kind of think it should be up a little bit. Whoops, see, that's never going to work, is it? You twist it all out of... What the criminy Christmas. Why? There we go. Okay. Good afternoon and happy Easter, everybody. I see Franklin, Bob, Al, and we have Frank's pre-play, Frank S. He sent it to me last night. I could see the score, difficult to read, and it was I still can't read it. I see Baltimore's line, 9-13-0. It doesn't say what Kansas City did. However, McNally was the complete game winner, so you can tell by that. Talbot, 6 innings. Hello there, Kenyon. Hello there, Bob. So it's Easter, and as my friend Bob pointed out to me, it's also 4/20. So it's a double holiday. And you probably know we're going to finish up the doubleheader we started yesterday. Baltimore won it. They've won the first 2 games of this 4-game series, and the Orioles on a 6-game winning streak. So about a week ago, at least on the Orioles schedules, Franklin expressed some concern that they weren't playing that well. I think it's safe to say that Franklin's fears have been alleviated. As if there should have ever been any fear, as the Orioles now 33-13, by far the Major League's best record to this point. And Kenyon's here, Mike's here. I think I said hello to Bob already. I did, didn't I? Let me get my coffee. I tell you what. I tell you guys, I hate to admit it, but my short-term memory is becoming somewhat of an embarrassment lately. Yesterday I was looking at a replay on a dice roll. I'd already forgotten that an X-play had occurred. Of course the dice were different. Unbelievable. You gotta be kidding me, right? Bob's going with KC in an upset. Kansas City still in 4th place, 23-21. And they're going to send the righty Fred Talbot up against Orioles lefty Dave McNally. Talbot's had a fine season, 3-3 record, but a 2.64 ERA in 9 starts, 1 complete game. It was a shutout, and just 41 hits allowed by the right-hander in 61 1/3 innings. McNally having a solid season as well, 4-2, 3.28 in 9 starts. McNally has 3 complete games. So, let's see where we're at. And Mookie is right here next to me, just jumped up on the TV tray. I've been following this Dodgers at Rangers series. Very good series between the last 2 World Series winners. And I have to say the Rangers look like they're poised to make a run to get back there again. And Tyler Glassarm leaves the game after 4 innings. Not arm related apparently. Ankle injury. It's always something with that guy. Alrighty, let's go ahead and let's see, where am I at? We're going to give you the Kansas City lineup, of course. Bert Campaneris leads it off at shortstop. Joe Nosek in center, moves up to the 2 spot in the lineup. Mike Hirschberger in right field. Danny Cater in left field hits cleanup. Ken Harrelson at first base. Dick Green in second base, so they flip-flop positions from the first game. Ed Charles hitting 7th today. And the only change to the Kansas City lineup, Phil Roof will catch the nightcap and bat 8th. Talbot, of course, hits 9th. Here's McNally now ready to go to work. Baltimore lineup exactly the same as the first game. So let's get my stats pulled up here. Of course, Mookie's right in the way. That's okay, I can work around him. And let's play ball here on an Easter Sunday in Spokane. McNally's ready to work. Campanera steps to the plate. 252, 1 homer, 19 RBIs. Here's the windup, and we are underway on a 2-9 lefty. He lifts one to left field. Bluffery waiting on it, and he puts it away for the first out, and away we go. Okay, here's Joe Nosek, the center fielder. Nosek struggling at 7 for 54. It's a 130 average. Batting second against the left-hander. Here's McNally's pitch. It's going to be a 2-12. Liner right into the glove of Davy Johnson. So soft liner to second. Nosek's retired. And here comes Mike Hirschberger. Hirschberger at 252, 1 home run, 17 RBIs. Not much power from Hirschberger, but I'll tell you one thing I've learned from this replay and also looking him up on Baseball Reference. This guy was a good ball player. I really didn't know anything about Mike Hirschberger before embarking on this replay. Anyway, here he is now. And here's McNally's pitch on a 4-3 right-hander. That's going to be a grounder to third base X. That's Brooks Robinson, however, 1E13. Dives towards the line. Diving stop. Over the line. Turns and throws. Strong throw. Just in time. Oh my goodness. What a sparkling play by Brooks Robinson. It would have taken a 1 to make that play. That's going to go down as a web gem. 5-3 side retired. 1-2-3 goes Kansas City. At the end of the half, it's Kansas City 0, Baltimore coming to bat against Fred Talbot. Al has a game queued up. That's going to be Cleveland at St. Louis doubleheader. Holy cow, 26-3. Yes, sir, he gets a football score. Orioles lineup same as game 1. Aparicio leads off at shortstop. Russ Snyder in center. Frank Robinson in right field. Brooks Robinson at third base in the cleanup spot. Boog Powell is at first. Kurt Bleffery in left field. Davy Johnson, the second baseman, and Andy Echeverria, the catcher, with McNally batting 9th. Talbot ready to go to work now. Aparicio steps into the box, hitting .244, 2 homers, 21 RBIs. Talbot gets his sign from Root, and here's the pitch on a 5-4 right-handed fly to center field X. That's Nosek, a good outfielder. Joe a 2E7 as he ranges to his right. And on a 9, it's the E range. So a 9 on an E7, and he runs it down for the out. Nice play, Nosek in center. Aparicio retired. And here's Russ Snyder. Left-handed hitting outfielder, just .230. No home runs, 4 RBIs. Talbot into the windup. That's going to be a 3-7 righty. Fly to right field playable. Hirschberger is right there in his tracks to make the catch. 2 away, nobody on. Up steps Frank Robinson. 322 average for Frank. So he's raised his average in the first game. 13 homers, 36 RBIs. While not leading in a Triple Crown category, he's right in the running in all 3 of them. Robinson, of course, the real-life Triple Crown winner in 1966. Talbot's pitch is a 3-6 right-handed. That is a ground ball to second base, and it's going to be fielded there by Green, who throws him out to retire the side. Bid for a single on a 3-6 to 7. He rolled the 14. We've played an inning and we're scoreless here in Baltimore. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Those of you working, I hope you got an extra day off or something at least out of this. I'm thinking of Ben in particular. I don't see Ben here today. Okay, second inning. Let me refresh my screen. Again, I seem to be lagging behind. My monitor is lagging behind me. All right. Here's Danny Cater started off. Cater 214, 1 homer, 4 RBIs. McNally into the windup. It's a 2-4 left-handed. He pops him up left side. Aparicio is there. And he makes the catch for the out. That'll bring up Hawk Harrelson, first baseman. Harrelson at 247, 1 homer, 11 RBIs. McNally getting the sign from Echeverria now, and here's the pitch to Harrelson. It's going to be a 5-11 right-handed. That's a high fly ball to deep left field. Backing up is Bleffery at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Home run, Harrelson. 5-11 right-handed. He has the power, and he rolls the 2. And for the Hawk, just his second home run of the year. And Kansas City takes a 1-0 lead here in the second. 1 down, the batter will be Dick Green. Green, the leading RBI man on the team, with 30. He's batting .271 with 3 home runs. McNally gets a new ball, gets his sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 1-7 lefty, and that's banged into left center. Schneider chasing it down. This could be extra bases to 13, and it will be. Green rounds and steams into second with a double. That'll bring up the third baseman, Ed Charles. Charles hitting .278, 1 homer, 15 RBIs. Green at second with 1 down. McNally checks the runner. Now comes to the plate. 2-8 left-handed, and that's going to be his base hit into center field. Green rounding, 13. Schneider plus 2, 15. They're going to send him. Now this is tough. From Baltimore's point of view, do you throw? Charles, a 16 runner, would almost certainly take second. You know what? They're going to cut it off and hold Charles to first. So that'll be an RBI single for Charles. As you guys know, sometimes a challenge to manage both teams. That what I do is I try to compartmentalize it. And to explain my thinking a little bit, they're looking at it from Baltimore's perspective. I'm thinking, hey, we can score some runs. Let's just not give up the big inning here. Charles, good speed. Let's check the battery. McNally with a fine -2 hold, Echeverria a 0. So Charles is 14. He will be held at 12. And the batter will be Phil Roof. The catcher hitting .242, just 8 for 33. He hasn't played that much. 4 of the 8 hits for extra bases, including a home run. McNally from the stretch. 1-5 lefty, and that's hit hard into left field. Triple to 5, and it's a 2-star single. Charles rounds and scoots into third. 4 straight hits off of McNally now in the second. And Echeverria's going to pay a little visit to the mound. Roof, not surprisingly, no threat to run. Talbot, a 2-hitter, right-handed, weak power. Also an A bunter, however, so the Orioles will be pulling the infield in here. Charles, good speed at third. He's a B. And it's a squeeze bunt. It's the squeeze play on a 9. Batter is safe. Runner on third is thrown out by Brooks Robinson. So Talbot bunted it a little bit too hard. That's going to go as a 5-2 force. Charles is nailed. Roof to second. A big play there by Robinson, his second in the game. And with first and second 2 away, it'll be Campaneris. McNally trying to get out of this inning with minimal damage, and here's the pitch to Campy. It's going to be a 2-8 left-handed 2-star single into right field. They're waving Roof around. He's going to score. All the way to third goes Fred Talbot. Three to nothing, Kansas City. And now they got to keep an eye on Campy at first. Campaneris has stolen 15 bases. $17 held at 15. Why not? 2 through, where goes the score sheet? 2 through 6 or 12. It's going to be a 10. He doesn't get the lead. Nosek swinging away. Here's the pitch from McNally. It's going to be a 5-3 right-handed. First base X. Tough chance for Powell. Powell 3E17. Here's the play. On an 8 E range. It's a 6 on a 17. This smells like trouble, and it is. That's going to be an error on Powell, and another run will score. So on an E3, Talbot comes in to score. Campaneris to second. And Kansas City will bat around in the second inning, and they lead it 4-0. It did, Franklin. In fact, I wrote that in over here. I don't know if you can see it very well or not. Right next to the real life score, in parentheses, the 12. So McNally should have been out of the inning. Instead, Mike Hirschberger will come to bat. McNally, full windup. The pitch is a 5-4 righty. That's catcher's card. That's going to be Echeverria. Good catcher, 2E6, and here's the play. On a 5, that's going to be a wild pitch followed by a pop out, and that will end the inning. So the runners move up on the wild pitch. Pop out to the catcher to follow. And that'll do it. 4 runs, 5 hits, and 2 left. So a big inning by Kansas City. And they take a 4-0 lead to the bottom of the second. Give me 1 second here. It's getting warm in here. Mookie has moved on to locations unknown. It's just as well. He makes me nervous when he gets up on that tray. Just a few inches from leaping onto the field. We already have a couple of cards that show the effect of a Mookie attack. And he's been known to run off with a die or a base running peg in the past. Okay, bottom of the second. Whoops, he's back. Spoke too soon. Okay, it's Brooks Robinson to start it off in the bottom of the second. Brooks at 293, 6 home runs, a team leading 37 RBIs. Talbot into the windup. That's going to be a 1-8 right-handed, and he rips a sharp single into left field. Line drive into left, and Robinson's aboard with a leadoff single. No threat to run. -2 battery for Kansas City, and here's Boog Powell. Powell, once again, the leading hitter on the team at 342 now. 13 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Talbot out of the stretch. The pitch to Boog is a 5-8 left-handed. Grounder to second base X. That could be 2. That's Green at 219. Here's the play on a 2. He's not going to get it. He knocks it down, and he has no play. That's going to be an infield single. Oh, man, it would have taken a 1 to make that play. Hard to fault Dick Green on that one. He did a good job just to keep it on the infield and hold Brooks Robinson to second. And Baltimore now threatening in the bottom of the inning. Kansas City, of course, scored 4 in the top of the frame. First and second, nobody out, and here's Kurt Blefary. Blefary batting .310, a dozen homers, 35 RBIs. Talbot taking his time now. Now the windup and the pitch to Blefary is a 1-9 right-handed fly to center. That's going to be playable for Nosek, who makes the catch for the first out. Here's Davey Johnson now. Johnson hitting .253, 2 homers, 24 RBIs. Runners take their lead as Talbot delivers a .412 righty high fly ball to deep left. Backing up his Cater on the track, pulls it in. So Davey Johnson gave it a ride, and Wind held that one up. Fairly easy play for Cater, and with 2 down, the batter will be Andy Etchebarren. Andy at 284, 6 homers, 19 RBIs. Runners take their lead. There's the pitch from Talbot on a 2-8 right-handed. Grounder to short. It's Campaneris charging it on the run in time. And the Orioles strand a pair. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. So Talbot, after back-to-back singles to open the inning, pitches around it. And we're through 2, 4-0 Kansas City. Hang on, you've got to see this. I can't wait till the 7th inning. Right there watching all the action. Looks like he's almost half asleep, in fact. Danny Cater led off the second with his team batting around. He'll lead off the third. 0 for 1. McNally into the windup. That's a 1-7 lefty. Fly to left field, playable. That'll be Bleffery. Waiting on it and squeezes it for the first out. Here's Harrelson now. Harrelson homered his first time up to get the scoring started. Here's the pitch from McNally. It's a 6-9 right-handed. Fly to right field. Fairly deep. Frank Robinson back a few steps and hauls it in. 2 away, and here's Dick Green. Green doubled his first time up. Pitch is a 1-7 left-handed, and that's hard hit into left. Double to 13. That is going to be a long single for Dick Green. Did I, Bob? I lost track already. Hello, Robbie Freeman, Tornado Watch. Holy cow, where are you, Robbie, if you don't mind my asking? I'm sure you've told me before, but you know how it is. -2, battery, Green of 15. He will not be held. He's not a star stealer, very limited chance of getting the lead. But he's going to try for it. He needs a 4. 3, close, but no cigar. And here's the next pitch to Charles. 4-5 righty. He lifts one to left. Can of corn for Bleffery, and that'll do it. A single and 3 fly balls. And that'll end the inning for the Athletics. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Missouri, okay. Northern, Central, or Southern? My guess would be closer to the center. So is there like a tornado season, Robbie, or can it basically happen anytime? Southeast, thank you. All right, Al, thanks for dropping in, buddy. Have a good dinner and a happy Easter to you. Here's Talbot now. McNally to lead it off in the bottom of the third. He's a 3 right-handed batter. Talbot with a 3-8 righty. He struck him out. First strikeout of the game for either team. Top of the order, here's Aparicio. Aparicio flew to center his first time up. Talbot gets the sign. The right-hander delivers a 6-5 righty. Hard smash to third. Charles is there. Throws him out, 2 down. Two away, and Russ Snyder comes to the plate. Flew to right in the first. Talbot getting the sign from Roof now, and here's the pitch. It's a 2-12 righty. Line single into right field for Snyder. Hirschberger has it. Snyder rounds and holds it first with a 2-out single. That'll get Frank Robinson to the plate, however. Big Frank, scary card, lefty or righty. Talbot out of the stretch. That's going to be a 1-9 right-handed. He struck him out. Oh, what a pitch. 2 Ks in the inning for Talbot. For the Orioles, no runs, a hit, 1 left, and we're through 3 innings. 4-0, Athletics. can be any time, I guess. Wow. That would drive me nuts, I have to be honest. I never knew much about Missouri, and I still know very little, but as some of you guys know, I've been watching a lot of these Route 66 travel vlogs on YouTube lately. And of course, Route 66 passes through Missouri. I'll tell you what, it's definitely a trip that's on my bucket list now. I think that would be a hell of a lot of fun. And I'm thinking of trying to vlog it myself. Thing is, I don't know how to edit, so I'd have to do it live. Like, you know, segments. Live segments. I downloaded a free editing software, but that thing was, Jiminy Christmas, it made a Rubik's Cube look easy to me. I couldn't figure it out. Maybe there's a class where I could find someone to teach me. Anyway, back to the ball game. 4-0 Athletics. Top of the fourth, Phil Roof will lead things off. He singled his first time up. McNally getting the sign. Here's the pitch now on a 5-5 righty. Swung on and missed strike 3. First K for McNally. And he strikes out the catcher here. Talbot, right-handed batter. On a 6-6 righty. Grounded to shortstop. Routine for Aparicio. Plenty of time. Throws it to Powell, 2 down. And that'll bring up Campy. Campy 1 for 2. McNally into the windup. That's going to be a 1-11 lefty, and he goes the other way with it and drops it into right field in front of Frank Robinson, rounding and holding it first. 19-17 held at 15. And with 2 outs, he will roll for the lead. 2 for 6 for 12. 7, he doesn't get it. Just for curiosity's sake, what would he be on the back number? He'd be a 9. Next pitch to Nossick. 2-8 lefty. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Bluffers. At the track, at the wall. It's off the wall for extra bases. Campaneris rounding. They're waving him home. 17, 19, plus 2. Most it can be is 19. They're going to send him. And Baltimore will cut it off and hold Nossick to a double. So an RBI double, 2-out rally for Kansas City makes it 5-0. And greetings to Dan Port. Definitely that would be on my list, Dan. Yeah, that looks pretty fun. Have any of you guys ever driven it, or parts of it even? Five to nothing. Here's Hirschberger. Nossick taking a lead from second. McNally's pitch on a 4-10 righty, fly ball to center field, playable for Snyder. He's there, and that'll wrap up the fourth. But Kansas City, another run on 2 hits, and they leave a man. And they lead it 5-0 now. And Easter gift from the cat. I haven't been letting mine out without the harness yet. I don't know what to do there. I know he wants to go out. Good. That's cool, Dan. Yeah, I'll tell you, based on the videos I've watched, I think 2 weeks would be rushing it. Looks to me like it's a minimum 3-week trip if you're going to see everything. Some people say to spend a month, but I don't know if I'd want to make it that long. Nothing on paper yet, mind you. It's just all kind of in my head at this point. I've been making like mental notes as I watch these videos. And of course, you know me. When I make mental notes, that simply means I've already forgotten half of them. 5-0 Kansas City, bottom of the 4th. Brooks Robinson to start it off. Talbot gets the sign from Ruth. There's the pitch. It's a 5-10 right-handed. It's a grounder shortstop X. Tough chance for Campy, a 323 as he goes into the hole. On in 8, it's the E range. 5 on a 23, that's going to be trouble. He throws to first, and the throw pulls Harrelson off the bag. That's going to go as an error on Campaneris. And Robinson reaches. First error of the game. That'll bring up Boog Powell with a man on. Powell singled in the second. Talbot from the stretch. It's going to be a 2-4 righty, and just outside he walks in. First 2 Orioles reach here in the 4th inning. Even at 5-0, you get the feeling they're certainly not out of this game by any means, as Kurt Blefary comes to bat. Blefary flew to center his first time up. Talbot rated 6 for endurance, in case you're wondering, and here's the pitch to Blefary. 6'8" lefty, and that's ripped into right field. That could be extra bases, 1-10. And that will be a double for Blefary. Scoring is Brooks Robinson, and it's 5-1. RBI double for Blefary. Stopping at third is Powell. 5-1 now, and Davy Johnson will come to bat. Still nobody out. Johnson 0 for 1. The score 5-1. They'll stay back, trying to avoid the big inning. And here's the pitch to Davy Johnson. That's going to be a 6-11 right-handed. High fly ball to left. That's going to be deep enough to score another run. Cater makes the catch. Powell tags and comes in. And it's 5-2. Give an RBI to Johnson on the play. That's the first out of the inning. And here's Echebarren. Echebarren 0 for 1. Talbot from the stretch. 1-4 righty. Grounder to second base. Green has it. His only play is to first. And on the play, Blefary scoots over to third. McNally, right-handed batter, 3W. Talbot with the pitch on a 6-3. It's a grounder to the pitcher X. Talbot a 4E15. Big play here. On a 1. He can't get it. That's going to be a base hit, and a run will score. Oh, my. That ball looked playable, but Talbot unable to get it. They'll give him a single. Blefary crosses the plate. And just like that, we've got a 5-3 game. That's making Alvin Dark a bit nervous. Righty Lou Krause warms up. Hang on a second, I want to take a look at this Dixon card. It's a computer-only card. Not terrible, but not very good. So Kraus, the right-hander, throwing in the Kansas City pen. The batter will be Aparicio. Man at first, 2 down. The pitch to Aparicio is a 4-6 righty. He pops him up. Playable. Campaneris will make the grab, and that'll do it. But 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 left. After 4, it is 5-3. Well, at least one of those runs is unearned. Walk, double, second out. All 3 are unearned, actually. So Talbot gets his ERA saved again, at least for the time being, and we go to the 5th in a 5-3 ball game. What time of the year did you go, Dan? Just curious. Yeah, one thing I do know, the northern parts of Arizona and New Mexico, you wouldn't think it maybe, but it gets cold up there. I spent a little time in Arizona, for instance, and Flagstaff, for example, in the winter is no fun at all. You might as well be in Spokane. Fifth inning, Danny Cater to start it off. He's 0 for 2 today. McNally gets the sign from Echeverrin. Here's the pitch on a 5-5 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Second K for McNally. October, Okay, thank you. From what I've read, June and September, the optimal months for a Route 66 journey. Here's Hawk Harrelson, 1 for 2 with a home run today. McNally studying the signs. Here's the windup and the pitch to Harrelson on a 1-10 left-handed. He he rolls over one to short, and Aparicio has it and throws him out. McNally got him to chase a breaking ball. He just rolled over it. And here's Dick Green now. Green 2 for 2 on the day. McNally set, and here's the pitch on a 6-7 right-handed. That's a grounder to second base X. That's going to be Johnson, 2E25. Davey ranging behind the bag, makes the grab, turns, and throws him out to retire the side. Nice play, Johnson. 4-3X, 1-2-3 go the Athletics in the 5th. Halfway home, it's 5-3 Kansas City. I have to scroll down to see the rest of Dan's comment. Oh, cool. So you spent some time there, too. I lived in Phoenix for a short time back in the early 80s. Now that place is just plain hot. I don't care what time of year it is. And you get the flash floods. They had one of those while I was there. That was a lot of fun. Talbot to work the 5th here. Snyder to lead it off. Russ Snyder 1 for 2 on the day. Here's Talbot into the windup. The pitch is a 2-7 righty, and he walks him. Lead off walk to Snyder. That's going to bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Frank Robinson. Brooks on deck, Powell to follow. So Talbot, I wouldn't say he's in a jam yet, but he's working himself into one. Frank 0 for 2 today. Talbot out of the stretch. The windup is a 210 right-handed. Fly ball to right field, playable. Hirschberger is there. So Talbot coaxes the fly ball out of Frank Robinson, and here comes Brooks. Brooks 1 for 2, reached on an error in the fourth. Talbot out of the stretch. 4-5 right-handed. He lifts one the opposite way to right field. Hirschberger drifting over towards the line and makes the catch. So a walk and 2 flyouts to Hirschberger, and it'll be up to Boog Powell. Powell singled and walked so far. Talbot checks the runner. The pitch to Boog is a 6-6. He missed ball 4, and he walks him. 2-out walk to Powell, his second of the day. Snyder to second. So the tying runs aboard for Kurt Blefary. Blefary, who's flown to center and doubled. Blefary standing in from the left side. Talbot going over the signs with Roof. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 1-7 righty. Struck him out. Huge strikeout there for Talbot, and that will end the 5th inning. Baltimore, no runs, no hits, 2 left. We're through 5 in a 5-3 game. Bottom third of the order for Kansas City. Ed Charles will start off the 6th. Charles 1 for 2. Dave McNally into the windup. Here's the pitch now on a 3-5 left hand. He rolls over it to short. Aparicio takes it and throws to Powell for the out. McNally keeping the ball away from these right-handed hitters. And here's the catcher, Phil Roof. Here's the windup and the pitch from McNally. It's a 4-8 righty. It's a grounder towards third. Fielded by Brooks Robinson, who throws him out. Single to 3. And he rolled to 16. 2 down quickly. And the batter will be Talbot. Talbot, a right-handed hitter. McNally's pitch on a 1-6. He struck him out. Not surprisingly. 1, 2, 3 go the Athletics in the 6th. That's cool, Dan. Dan says, just like the song, I've been everywhere, man. I'm going to grab a refill of my coffee. Yeah. Better warm that up a little though. At least I know what I'm having for lunch. I've got leftover Panda Express in the fridge. What does the 7-star mean? Here? Starter 7. What the hell does the dot mean? They all have it. All the pitchers have these dots. That's a good question, Franklin. I never thought much about it. I know the 7 is his endurance rating. I wonder why it's followed by the dot. And hello, Julio L. Welcome. That's a good question. I don't know the answer. Can anybody help out with that? Why are all the ratings followed by the dot? I wonder if you had a... No, because even the ones with the closer rating are followed by the dot. First I thought maybe dot means you can't be a closer if you're using the closer rules, but that certainly isn't it. Perhaps it's a reminder that once he's tired that all these dots become singles. But to me that seems redundant. But that's what Dan says. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Like I say, it seems kind of redundant to me. We already know what his endurance inning is, and we know what the dots on the card are. Maybe that's if you're playing with the dots instead of with the... Well, no, you can't play with the pitch count and the card and dice. That's only on the computer game. You guys are making me think. Let me grab that coffee. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Yes, Madden Vids, that's absolutely right. Madden Vids, excuse me. And welcome, Madden. I don't recognize the name. Are you new to the chat? Welcome to the group. Let me get my coffee. The more the merrier. Especially today, a little bit smaller group today, which I expected for a holiday. Not to be deterred, however. I wanted to finish playing this doubleheader. And there's Gonzalo Lira's bar tab. I'll be darned. Well, sorry, Madden. Yeah, my senior appropriate memory and all. Gonzalo, not a regular either. Welcome, Gonzalo. Coffee is for closers. Oh, you know what? I forgot that, Franklin. You have mentioned that before. And I've been assuming all the time that you played. Bottom third for Baltimore. Dave Johnson will start it off. First endurance inning for Talbot. First inning of potential fatigue. Here's the pitch to Davey Johnson. It's a 3-5 right-handed. It's a hard smash to third. Charles backhands it. Fires to Hawk Harrelson. One down. And here's Echebarren, the pitcher. And now what do you do with McNally? A 7-inning pitcher normally. I'll throw it out to the group. You'll have a minute to think about it. Would you pinch hit for McNally or let him keep going? Orioles trail by 2. Part of that, of course, depending on what Echebarren does, right? Talbot into the windup. It's going to be a 110 right-handed, and he walks him. Well, that changes the complexity of this entirely. Or the complexion, take your pick. With the tying run coming to the plate, Baltimore's going to send up a pinch hitter for McNally. Let's see, Grabowski worked the first game. Who else pitched? Who got it? Was it Watt? Dick Hall begins throwing in the Baltimore pen. Let's see if they have the only lefty on the Baltimore pen is backup catcher Vic Rosnovsky. Do they have another catcher? They do not. So we're going to have to use a right-handed hitter against Talbot. Could be Bowens. And it will be. Sam Bowens has been announced as the pinch hitter. Bowens pinch hit in this game in real life. Of course, who didn't? In real life, the game went 12 innings. Let's take a look at Bowens' numbers. Bowens just 7 for 48 so far. 3 of those hits for extra bases, including 1 home run. Etchebarren at first with 1 away. Talbot from the stretch. That's going to be a 5-12 grounder to second base X. This could be 2. Green a 219. Here's the play on an 18, and it is. It's Green to Campy to Harrelson. Double play. Nice play by Green to start the double play, and the Orioles come up empty in the bottom of the 6th. Dan, clearly for Baltimore here, says, "Damn it, Bowens. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a magician." You know, I read online, I wonder if there's any truth to the rumor that DeForest Kelley said that he wanted engraved on his tombstone, "He's dead, Jim." McNally goes 6 today. He gave up 8 hits. Did not walk a man. I missed the Baltimore error there too. Okay, homer, double, 2 runs in. 3rd out. I can't tell if a run scored on the error or not. Let's see it again. 1 out, homer, double, 2 runs in, single. 2nd house on the 4th. 3rd run in, the error, looks like the error did cause a run. So 5 runs, 4 earned for McNally. And he struck out just 3 today. So not the best McNally performance. But he kept his team in the game. I know, Dan, exactly. Dan says, I hate when you pinch hit for a guy and then it's a double play. It's like the pitcher could have done better than that. Runner at first went out, at least the pitcher would have laid down the bunt and moved him over. He feared his tombstone would say, so he didn't want that. He's just afraid it might be that. Either way, it's kind of funny. I kind of think it should say that. What do you guys think? 7th inning, top of the order, Dick Hall on to pitch for Baltimore. Hall on the season, 3-0, 3 saves, and a stingy 0.95 ERA in 19 innings of work. This Baltimore bullpen, good and deep. Campy, 2 for 3. Hall gets the sign from Etchebarren, and here's the pitch. It's a 6-6 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Dick Hall announces his presence with authority. And here's the center fielder, Joe Nosek. 1 for 3 today. Dick Hall into the windup. It's a 2-8 right-handed, and that's banged into left center for extra bases. Rounding second, headed for third, and he's in there with a triple. Joe Nosek, can you believe it? To put that in perspective, Nosek came into the game hitting just 130. 7 for 54, and he has a double and a triple today. Orioles now will pull the infield in for Hirschberger. Hirschberger 0 for 3 today. Hall takes a glance at third. Now it comes to the plate. 4-10 right-handed. He pops him up right side. Johnson waving. He'll take it, and that's a big out. It'll be up to Danny Cater, who's 0 for 3 today. Hall a glance at the runner. He comes in there with a 6-3 righty. It's a fly to left field X. That's going to be a tough chance for Bluffery. A 4-7. Bluffery ranging over towards the line, and on an 18, he can't get it. It's going to drop for a single. Oh my goodness, that ball looked playable, but they're going to give him a single, and the run will score. Big insurance run here for Kansas City. Makes the score 6-3. Still 2 down. Here's Harrelson. Harrelson 1 for 3 with a home run. Hall working out of the stretch now. Here's the pitch on a 2-4 righty. Hard smash to third. Robinson to Powell. That'll do it. But Kansas City gets a big insurance run on a 2-out single by Cater. They leave a man. And as we stretch for the 7th, they lead it 6-3. Gonzalo, I've done it many times on the computer game. This is my first complete season with card and dice. Most of my life I've played keeper leagues. A keeper league, of course, being where you draft your own team and make trades and play competitively against other guys in the league. But I've done a ton of replays on the computer. Some where I manage one team, let the computer manage the other, and a lot where I just auto-played the whole season and then looked at the stats. You can autoplay a whole season in about 10 minutes on the Windows game. And now it's time for the Mookie stretch. That's right. And he's still there on the TV tray. You can see the setup there. That's where we keep the monitor, the stats, the charts, and the Mook. What's happening, Mookie? You having a good Easter? Did you find your eggs? You know, as Woody Allen said, we all need the eggs. Oh my goodness. Clank is right. Second endurance inning for Talbot. That extra insurance run will buy him a little rope as he prepares to face the top of the Baltimore lineup. Aparicio 0 for 3 today. Talbot gets the sign. Here's the windup on the pitch. It's a 2-7 right-handed, right in the heart of his good column. He gets under it a bit, lifts it to center. Nosek waiting on it and makes the catch for the out. Here's Snyder now. 1 for 2 with a walk. Talbot set. Wind up on the pitch on a 3-6. Hard ground ball to second. Green has it. Throws to Harrelson in plenty of time, and there's 2 away. 2 out quickly in the 7th. Frank Robinson steps to the plate, 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Talbot gets the sign from Roof. Here's the windup and here's the pitch. It's a 4-8 right-handed. That's going to be a liner towards second. Single to 6. And it will be a 9, and the liner is speared there by Dick Green. 1, 2, 3 go the Orioles in the 7th. So Baltimore running out of outs now through 7. It's 6-3 Kansas City. And at the top of the 8th, Kansas City will send Green, Charles, and Roof to the plate. Yeah, he's been there the whole time, Franklin. No, he hasn't, has he? Almost the whole time. I think he left in the early part of the game, but he came right back. Anyway, I sure want to thank you guys for spending part of your holiday with me. Anyone have any big dinner plans? I miss not having an Easter dinner this year. Those of you that don't know, my mom passed away on March the 1st. At age 87, I'll tell you what. Even at 87, she was a champion of holiday meals. Oh my goodness. We go to the 8th, Green to lead it off. He's 2 for 3 today. Hall in his 2nd inning of work gets his sign. Here's the windup on the pitch. It's a 6-8 right-handed second base X. That's Johnson. 2E25 as he ranges behind the bag. That's going to be a 13. He makes a nice play and throws him out. 1 second baseman to another, and Green is retired. Here's Ed Charles now, 1 for 3. Pitch from Hall is a leaner, and that's going to be a reroll. As Charles fouls one back, Hall gets a new ball, rubs it up, and comes in there with his next pitch, which is a 5-7, swung on and missed, strike 3. Second K for Dick Hall, 2 down, and Phil Roof the batter. The right-handed hitting catcher, 1 for 3 today. Hall into the windup, 2-9 righty. He struck him out. 2 Ks for Hall in the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the A's. And now let's check the A's defense as they take a 6-3 lead to the bottom of the 8th. Cater in left, the only sad spot to me. Cater will leave, and Larry Stahl is going to take over in left field. Stahl at 2E6 with a 0 arm, 14 runner. Talbot, due to hit leadoff when we go to the 9th, comes out for his 3rd endurance inning. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for joining us today, and thank you for the Missouri and General Route 66 info. I tell you, I am really intrigued by that trip of late. And I'd better do it before I get too much older if I'm going to do it, right? Man, that last California trip kicked my butt. Of course, that was round trip and it was more miles. My California trip with Mookie, I logged just over 4,000 miles, so quite a bit more miles than a one-way Route 66. Talbot ready to work. Here's Brooks Robinson to lead it off. Brooks 1 for 3 today. Talbot into the windup. We've got a 1-4 righty, foul ball back of the plate. Roof throws the mask away and makes the catch. Popped it straight back, 1 down, and here's Boog Powell. Powell has not been retired today. Single to the second, walked twice. Talbot gets his sign. Here's the pitch to Boog. That's going to be a 4-7 lefty. That's a grounder towards first. Single to 8, fielded by Harrelson. Underhands to Harrelson covering, and Powell is retired. 2 down, nobody on, and here's Bleffery. Kurt hitting in the, in the 7 spot. No, in the 6 spot. Get it together, Steve. 1 for 3 with a double. Bishop's Castle in Colorado. Well, that's not on the route, Gonzalo, but I will file that one away. In fact, I'm going to write that down. Because otherwise I'll forget. Probably forget by the 9th inning. However, I'm going to make a note to myself. I'll bet I can find that on YouTube, huh? Talbot's pitch to Bleffery. 2-9 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to right. Hirschberger backing up on the track, pulls it in. And Baltimore comes up empty in the bottom of the 8th. A 1-2-3 inning for Talbot. And the score remains 6-3. Hall rated 4 for relief endurance. He'll pitch the 9th. And with a 3-run lead, Talbot's going to hit. Talbot's going for it. What if you drove it backwards, Franklin? Yeah. Drove it backwards, kind of like the throwing out the ringer scene in The Big Lebowski. Yeah, they did that backwards. They had a guy off to the side of the bridge throw the briefcase to the guy in the car. And they used the dark lighting and the blackout windows. More useless trivia brought to you by Spokane Steve. We go to the 9th. Talbot batting. Hall with the pitch. It's a 3-11 fly ball to straightaway center. Snyder is there to make the play, and there's 1 down. And that'll bring up Campy. Campy 2 for 4 today. Hall into the windup. That is a 1-11 right-handed, and he bangs a base hit the other way into right field. His 3rd hit of the day. Hall with a -2 hold. 19-17, they're going to hold Campy at 15. Campy never wanted to pass up a stolen base opportunity. He's going to roll for the lead. 2-6 or 2-6. He's got the lead. 2 through 6 or 12. He's got the 5. There he goes to 15. Echebarren's throw. He's stolen it on a possible overthrow. Echebarren 1-8. And he does not overthrow. It'll be a stolen base for Campaneris. His league-leading 16th of the season. And here's the next pitch to Nossek. On a 3-11 righty, foul ball back of the plate. It's Echebarren this time throwing the mask away. And he squeezes it for the 2nd out. It'll be up to Hirschberger. Mike 0 for 4 today. Hall checks the runner. Now it comes to the plate, 2-8. Routine 2-hopper to short, Aparicio to Pal, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. No runs a hit, 1 left. All eyes now on Talbot. 6-inning endurance pitcher, and he's going for the complete. Just in case, Jack Aker begins to toss in the Kansas City pen. Aker, probably the league's best relief pitcher in '66. And it's going to be the bottom third of the order for the Orioles. Johnson, Echeverrin, and a pinch hitter for the pitcher. Hey, if you're watching later on the replay and haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps me out. Plus, it's free and it's easy. Hit that subscribe button. Here's Davey Johnson, 0 for 2 with a sac fly. Talbot gets his sign from Roof. The windup and the pitch on a 1-9 righty. He struck him out. That's just the 4th strikeout for Talbot. And here's Echeverrin. Echeverrin 0 for 2 with a walk. Paul Blair grabs a bat and moves into the on-deck circle. Talbot gets his sign. Here's the pitch on a 5-9 righty. Grounder shortstop X. Tough chance for Campy. 323, and here's the play. On a 6, he makes a fine play and throws him out. Nice play, Campaneris. And the Orioles down to their last out, and it will be the pinch hitter, Paul Blair. Excuse me, Mookie, I need to see the stats here. Give me my mouse. Give me my mouse, cat. Paul Blair at 250. Just 1 homer, but 27 RBIs. Talbot trying to go the distance. Goes into his windup. The pitch to Blair on a 110 righty. That's ripped into right field and deep. That's going to be over the head of Stahl. And Blair coasts into second with a 2-out double. The Orioles not done. Top of the order, Luis Aparicio comes to bat. Right, Gonzalo? I think it was VH1 many years ago when they did their top 500 or top 100 album countdowns, and it was hosted by Jeff Bridges. And after they got to number 1, at the end of the countdown, he used that line. Well, that's like your opinion, man. No Janice, no Doobie Brothers, come on. Here's Aparicio, 0 for 4. Talbot trying to close it out. Taking his lead from second is Blair, and here's the pitch on a 2-9 righty. That's ripped into left center. That could be extra bases. In any case, Blair will score, and Aparicio will hold with a long RBI single. Crossing the plate is Blair. 6-4 now. Tying a run comes to the plate in the form of Snyder. One more hitter walk will fatigue Talbot. Aker is ready in the pen. Out to the mound, Phil Roof. They're going to let Talbot pitch to Snyder. Talbot gets his sign from the stretch. That's going to be a 4-7 lefty. It's a grounder towards first. Single to 8, and it's fielded by Harrelson. He throws to Talbot covering, and that's the game. 6-4 the final. The Athletics hang on. That breaks the O's 6-game winning streak. Kansas City manages to split the doubleheader. And as always, I will have the totals for you here in just a minute. Hall worked 3 innings, 3 hits and a run, no walks, 3 strikeouts. McNally takes the loss. He's 4-3. Talbot all the way for the win. He's 4-3 as well. Talbot 2-3. 7-hitter. He allowed 4 runs, only 1 earned. Walked 3. And struck out, hang on now, 3, I thought he had 5. No, he only had 4. 4 strikeouts for Talbot. Thank you, Kenyon. Thank you, Julio, Frank, Mike. We have some differing opinions on who should be the player of the game. As far as the Orioles go, I would say, well, you can't win them all. They're still 33-14, by far the best record in the majors. Where are you going there, Mook? You can't go up there. Kansas City in winning 6 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. Baltimore 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Talbot or Nosek? I'm inclined to go Talbot, frankly. 9 innings, 1 earned run. Honorable mention to Nosek with the double and the triple. Campy had 3 hits. It's got to be Fred Talbot. Your Chief Spokane, Gary, player of the game, Fred Talbot. Remember early in the year when him and Sisk were leading their respective leagues at ERA? Tommy Sisk, yeah. Holy crikeys, Gary Sanchez on the mound. How'd he do, Julio? I know Gary has a good arm, but can he pitch? Mook, I need to get to my mouse, buddy, so we can look at tomorrow's game. That finishes that doubleheader. So tomorrow we will have the New York Yankees at the Boston Red Sox. Continuation of that series. As the 2 bitter rivals meet up in 1966 with Mel Stottlemyre getting the start for New York. Jose Santiago on the mound for Boston. 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. Please join me. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Easter and your weekend. And I'll be talking to you later. I'm going to go heat up the rest of that Panda Express. Take care, everybody. Far out, man.